In 3, 2, 1. All right, 13 Minutes with Alexa begins right now. So last week, I had this exciting thing happen to me, or happen, and then it got taken away. And it sucked so badly. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I said I was gonna be vulnerable, real, authentic on here. So here's what happened. Last week, on Monday, I believe it was, I got an email through my website that someone from London wanted to have me speak at their event. And it was travel expenses paid. It was 2 business class flights to London, 3 nights at a Hilton hotel, and my speaker fee was accepted. And the email was very thought out. It went over the theme of their event, which was acting big but starting small. It went over the topics that I speak about, like how to overcome obstacles and how to take small actions to produce big results. And it was like, wow, this person really did research and wants to have me speak at their event. And I was like so excited. I was like, yes, I'm going to London, 2 first class flights, 3 nights in London. I'm like so excited. Plus it was a paid gig, and like London has been on my list to speak and get paid to speak since I lived there when I studied abroad back when I was in college. And so it's like one of my big bucket list goals. And so you can imagine how excited I was to receive this email. We went back and forth a few times, and it was like, hey, this is actually legit. They sent me a contract, and I was really, really excited. And so then I told a few people about it, but I felt a little bit hesitant. Like my inner intuition was like, this seems like a little bit too good to be true, but you have to know that when you are a public speaker, many times the gigs come just from people going to your website and filling out the contact form and saying like, hey, we want you to speak at our event. I've gotten a ton of events, especially once you are more out there as a speaker. So it's not uncommon for a big gig that's in London to find me and have their board of advisors reach out on my website. Like that's not uncommon at all. It happens all the time as a speaker. But then the next day, Tuesday, like Monday, we were working out the logistics. I got the contract, and then they said, you need to have a visa to work over here so we can pay you. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't have a work visa. Like I have a passport. And they're like, okay, well, it takes a very long time, and the event's in July, but someone on our board of advisors works for the embassy or wherever the place is that does work visas, and we'll connect you with her and she'll help you through the documentation and the process. And I was like, okay, great. So they connected me, and it was a little bit weird, the first email. And I just responded with my passport number, and then she's like, okay, I'll get the documents ready. And then she emailed me and she said, it will take too long for you to process the payment through like the actual form or whatever, but you can just send a money order to the bank in my name, which is right across from the government, place where she works. And I'll process it for you. It'll be much faster that way. And then I was like, hold on a minute. This is so like weird. And I didn't feel good about it at all. And then I reread the email and I was like, this is not right. Like, I don't feel comfortable paying this random person. And then also I was like, why don't they just take that out of my speaker fee if I have to pay for my own work visa? Like, why don't you just do that? Because I don't trust this person if we need to have that happen faster. And then like at nighttime on Tuesday night last week, I just felt like there's something sketchy about this. And I saw in their email signature from the first email, the phone number that they had, and I Googled it, and it was a complete scam. Yes, Flagship Photos, you called it. It was a complete scam alert. And I'm like, what? Like, you went through so many lengths to research who I was, research my speaking topics, come up with an event theme, talk to me back and forth, send me an entire contract agreement. And I was so upset. I cried. I'm not even joking. When I told my parents that it was fake, I ended up crying, and they're like, you didn't get scammed. You don't have, you didn't get scammed. I was like, I feel like I did because I got my hopes way up here and then they just came crashing down. And it sucked. And I am thankful that I didn't get into the scam, because I read on this scam alert, so many people lost a lot of money doing because they paid them, or there was other ways that these scam artists did it to public speakers. And they're actually now focusing on female public speakers. Any female public speaker that's watching this, beware of London gigs. Do all your research that reach out to you. And it was kind of this it was this sense of hope taking away, this feeling oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm so hopeful for this future engagement. And then it's just boom, it's gone in 1 second. And I think it's important to talk about that, because that happens with a lot of us. It's our expectations are up here, and then reality is right here. Or in my case, it's there's no reality of that, but just say reality is this right here. And our expectations are up here. Even regardless of how amazing something may be, if your expectations are higher than the reality, guess what? You're going to have an expectation hangover. Meaning after something happens, you're going to feel down here. And it happens all the time. There's no getting around it. If you have false expectations over any situation and they don't meet those expectations, you are going to feel less than. And especially in my case, super crazy, I know. Especially in my case, where there was no reality of it, I was so excited. And then you feel oh my God, I just told people that I got this amazing engagement in London, and now it's not happening. So then it's oh my God, I gotta tell these people, but I only told a few people. But it's just it sucks. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because, one, it happens to everyone. There's always going to be times, especially when you are chasing after your dreams or goals, there's always going to be times that you're let down. And there's always going to be times where people promise you the world and then take it away. I can't tell you how many business meetings I've had where professionals in my industry, top executives, are yeah, we love what you're doing. I want to help you out. We can do X, Y, and Z. We'll connect this person and you'll speak here and do this and this. And I can't tell you how many different meetings I've had where it was real people, face to face, they're actually in that position. They actually have the power to do that. And then they just go MIA and nothing ever comes to fruition with it. That's something I've had that since I'm 17 years old. And so it is don't count your eggs, don't count your chicken before your eggs, or whatever that saying is. That's super true. But at the same time, you don't want to have that stop you from dreaming big. And so it's a balance. It's a balance from don't let other people that are letting you down stop you from dreaming big, and don't let them cause you to have low self-doubt or self-esteem about yourself, or about your competence or talent or knowledge, because it's happened so many times to me. And it sucks because anytime something exciting comes my way, I question it. I'm okay, well, this sounds great, but is it actually going to happen? I've had so many things where oh, you're going to get featured in the press. I'm hey, this is great. I want to be super excited, but is it really going to happen? Because a lot of times they promise the world and it just doesn't go through. And it may not be an individual's fault. It's just, politics and business or whatever you're doing. So, don't count your eggs before they hatch. Okay. That makes more sense. um, Wait, is it chickens? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. There you go. Don't Whatever. You see, I'm not a farmer, but I've never really used that saying, but it makes sense. And so anyway, the point of this live stream, and I want you to really understand this, is dream as big as you can dream. And when exciting things come your way, believe that you are worthy of having them happen for you. And if it doesn't, that has no correlation to your talent, to your knowledge, to your self-esteem. That is just lessons, and it's just the hustle, and it's just the journey. And like, it sucked because I was like really excited about this London gig, and then it was a scam. And I could look at it, you know, for a second, you know, for a while, like a few minutes, I was crying and was like really upset because it was like I got my hopes up. And then I was like, hey, I need to change my perspective on this. And like really grateful that I was smart enough to catch it, because it could have been worse where I paid a lot of money and then got, you know, my hopes completely crashed. But at the end of the day, it really is like just the journey, and nothing, like nobody can touch like everything and it turns to gold. There's going to be a lot of brass, like silver, bronze, whatever you want to call it. Like there's going to be a lot of things that aren't up to your expectations, especially when people disappoint you. And that's okay. And so, that is today's 13 Minutes with Alexa live. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Let me see if I could get some stuff out. A Flagship Photo says, I love the fact that you had a gut feeling. One has to listen to the gut. Yes. If you have that intuitive feeling like you know something's off, most likely you are right. Deborah says, I've had a lot of photography scams and thankfully I figured it out. Oh man, it's so annoying. I mean, literally those people did like so much research. It was weird. Okay, so yes, so 52 seconds left. So again, this is 13 minutes live with Alexa, or hashtag 13 minutes with Alexa. And I am coming on live Monday through Friday. I haven't figured out an exact time yet, but I will post the time. I'll try to do it like an hour before on my Insta stories, but make sure to turn on my notifications. And if you want me to speak on any specific topic, you can send me a DM and I will make sure to touch on that. And I hope that this provided value and inspiration for you. And if it's happened to you before, it's happened to the best of us. So it's okay. You're going to be okay. Keep on going. Don't give up. All right. Hashtag 13 minutes with Alexa. The beeper. Do you hear that? Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in.